The Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth. Behold her, single in the field, yon solitary Highland lass, reaping and singing by herself. Stop here, or gently pass. Alone she cuts and binds the grain, and sings a melancholy strain. Oh, listen, for the vale profound is overflowing with the sound. No nightingale did ever chaunt more welcome notes to weary bands of travellers in some shady haunt among Arabian sands. A voice so thrilling near was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the seas among the farthest Hebrides. Will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive numbers flow for old, unhappy, far-off things in battles long ago. Or is it some more humble lay, familiar matter of today, some natural sorrow, loss or pain, that has been, and may be again? Whatever the theme, the maiden sang, as if her song could have no ending. I saw her singing at her work, and o'er the sickle bending. I listened, motionless and still, and as I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart I bore, long after it was heard no more. The title, The Solitary Reaper, represents who the speaker is speaking about. The word solitary means known or existing alone, and the word reaper means a person or machine that harvests a crop. This could explain who she is and what she does. There are 8 lines and 4 stanzas in the poem. The rhyming pattern for all these 4 stanzas is A-B, A-B, C-C, D-D. The exceptions to the pattern are on lines 1 and 3 and 25 and 27. This represents the uniqueness of the girl and how she stands out in the lines. There were 4 vocabulary words that I didn't know: melancholy, Hebrides, plaintive, and sickle. Melancholy means a feeling of pensive sadness, typically with no obvious cause. Hebrides is a compression of hundreds of islands off the northwest coast of Scotland. Plaintive, to sound sad and mournful. Sickle, a short-handed farming tool with a semicircular blade. The type of poem is a ballad. A ballad is a form of verse, often narrative and set to music. It is also an iambic tetrameter. An iambic tetrameter consists of 4 iambs per line. An iamb is a foot or beat consisting of an unstressed syllable and then a stressed syllable. Throughout the poem, there is a meter of 8 syllables, except with a few exceptions of 6 syllables, for example, here, here, and here. The theme of the poem is about how shocked and surprised and in love he is with the Highland lass, which is the girl. The tone is neutral and positive. Some points it's positive because he's calm and passionate about her. He also is trying to get people to come over, which shows how passionate he is to go listen to her sing and watch her. He is also very shocked and by her and how perfect she is to him and unique. The poem is mainly about the Highland lass and what she's doing, which is cutting the grain and binding it. And it also describes her singing and how the main character tries to get people to come over, even listen to it, because he's so surprised and shocked by everything about her, and especially how unique she is, which is seen even in parts throughout the poem, like how the parts don't rhyme, like herself and field, and how some parts are shorter, which are 6 syllables instead of 8 syllables, as here. The Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth. Behold her, single in the field, yon solitary Highland lass, reaping and singing by herself. Stop here, or gently pass. Alone she cuts and binds the grain, and sings a melancholy strain. Oh, listen, for the vale profound is overflowing with the sound. No nightingale did ever chaunt more welcome notes to weary bands of travellers in some shady haunts among Arabian sands. A voice so thrilling near was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the seas among the farthest Hebrides. Will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive numbers flow for old, unhappy, far-off things in battle long ago. Or is it some more humble lay, familiar matter of today, some natural sorrow, loss or pain that has been and may be again? Whatever the theme, the maiden sang, as if her song could have no ending. I saw her singing at her work, and o'er the sickle bending. I listened motionless and still, and as I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart I bore, long after it was heard no more. So now you can see, especially like how it is like a song, especially in where is it? Oh, here that has been and maybe again. So it's like that has been and maybe again, long after it was heard no more. So it's kind of like has a rhythm to it to make it sound more like a song instead of a poem. And it's also at the same time telling a story about the girl and what she's doing and pretty much everything about her and how the narrator or the speaker sees it. So there's some literary devices in the poem. The first one I found is, "Oh, listen, for the veil profound is overflowing with the sound." This is not hyperbole because it's basically saying that everything around is being surrounded by her singing, which is a bit of an exaggeration, so I guess it can be exaggeration also. No nightingale did ever chaunt more welcoming notes to weary bands. This is a metaphor because it's saying that a nightingale, which is believed to have a pretty voice, it's never sounded as good as her before, which is basically comparing her to a nightingale. Another metaphor is a voice so thrilling near was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird. This is a metaphor and a personification because it's comparing her to the cuckoo bird and how she sounds like a bit better, like so similar to the nightingale, but it's more comparison with her and how she sounds is like a cuckoo bird. And then, will no one tell me what she sings is a rhetorical question because he's just asking himself, and there's no one there really listening to his question or to answer. The poem pretty much describes everything about the Highland Lass and how the speaker sees her, and it's very good, and it describes in a rhythmic way, which is similar to a song, and at the same time tells a story, which is how he sees her. At the same time, it tells a poem. So